Hello and welcome to the Stellar Way for Course Creators YouTube channel. This is a channel that will help you to be able to launch your online course. And the channel focuses on how you can design, create, and launch your online course. So not just the marketing side, but everything that's involved from planning and preparation to creating and editing and to finally launching. So if you would like to watch all of the videos to help you launch your online course, make sure you subscribe to the channel and don't forget to hit the bell button so that you get notifications of when a new video is uploaded. Each week we have new videos coming into the channel to help you launch your online course. So let's jump into today, which is how to improve your online course. So let's first start with, well, why would you improve an online course? Right? So your course needs to make sure that it is relevant. You need to make sure that your course is constantly up to date. So that might be policies, that might be practices that you have, it might be your specific content. So making sure that that's all up to date and relevant with the technologies that are available today, right? Not 5 years ago, not the practices of how we would create online courses 10 years ago, right? They're relevant to today. And this might already be stated in your continuous improvement practices that you need to improve your courses or provide version control to your courses every 90 days or every 160 days, whatever it might be, whatever your continuous improvement practices are for your business. You might also find that you have particular policies, procedures, particular links to additional resources that could potentially be broken or are updated, and you need to check that everything's still working and everything is updated in your course. And finally, maintain that version control. Like continuous improvement, you might have particular requirements in your business, in the organization that you work for, to maintain a minimum version control requirement, such as a new version of the course or an updated version of the course every 160 days, which is twice a year. So that's why you would improve your course, why you would start to implement these continuous improvements. So when do you know that it's time to improve your course? Again, you might have a requirement, a reminder from your company saying it's almost to that 160 days and you have the policy that you need to improve your course. But if you don't, some other indicators are low course completion rates. Be careful with this one because people might get what they need from the course and not have to complete every single lesson to achieve their goal. So low completion rates doesn't necessarily mean low success. So be careful with that one, but it is an indicator as well to improve your course. If you have low reviews or low feedback, again, another indicator to improve your course. A decrease in sales. Again, be careful with this one because it's not the only reason to improve your online course. Right? Improving your online course will not guarantee an increase in sales. There are a lot of other factors to take into account as well. But improving your course may help towards that. And finally, when it's time to update your content is when your content is outdated. That might be new technology has come out. There might be new versions of tech that you have that you can now demonstrate different things. There might be new features of tech that you need to demonstrate or update. There might be new regulations, new laws, new guidelines, whatever your course is on, making sure it's up to date by ensuring that you are improving any outdated content. So now that you know the why you would improve courses and when you should improve your course by looking at those indicators, let's have a look at how you can improve your online course. So that is, what are some steps? Specifically, what are 4 ways that you know how to improve your online course? So 4 steps that you would, or 4 ways to better understand how you should improve your online course is to collect feedback, continuously collect feedback throughout the course. Maintain a course outline with all content so that you can identify any outdated content, conduct interviews, and finally collect indirect feedback. So let's have a look at those 4 in a little bit more depth. So continuous feedback. You might have a feedback form at the very end of your course, or maybe the second last or the fifth last lesson, but having something at the very end is just not efficient or sufficient enough. So what I like to do is have an intention setting survey, and that's at the very beginning of their course. And at the very beginning of the course, it's an opportunity for me to say to the student, what are your goals? What are your intentions? What do you want to achieve here? In 6 months' time, what do you want your course to look like? Remember, my courses are to help you launch an online course. Now that puts the onus on the student. It starts to enable autonomous learning, and it puts the responsibility on the student that they need to reach their own goal. For me as a course creator, it gives me great feedback. It gives me great market research, and it also gives me great feedback on what they want to achieve. Now, with this intention setting survey, I use it in combination with little surveys throughout the course where I can say, how are you feeling now about your course creation? Later on, how are you feeling now about achieving your course goal? And so with that intention setting survey, by coming back to it multiple times throughout the course, it's given me the opportunity to see how the student is improving over time with the course material. Obviously, feedback forms as well is a great way to continuously collect feedback. Just make sure it's not the only way you collect feedback. You can have opportunities to ask questions as well. So we'll look at that further in the other 3 ways to know how to improve your course. And finally, things such as like and dislike buttons, right? Not all of your feedback needs to be qualitative. It doesn't need to be written feedback. You can also collect quantitative feedback. So that's feedback such as ratings. That's feedback such as on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you recommend this course to someone? And a like and a dislike button. So you could have that on a video. You could have that on an email that you send out. You could email or direct message someone and say, give me a thumbs up and thumbs down. How are you feeling about the course? Whatever it might be. This is an opportunity to collect quantitative feedback. Let's have a look at number 2, which is a course outline with all content. So consider this like a running list, or consider it like an index that says for each of the lessons you have in your course, when do you have external resources? Or when do you have particular policies and procedures that are stated that when they update, you also need to go to your course and update? Now, by having this running list, it makes it easy to change things in your course when things change. It also makes it very easy to test any links that you have by just running through that list and clicking on links or seeing where you do have particular policies stated, rather than going through the entire course and combing through all the content to try and to find any outdated information. Point 3 is interviews. So interviews is an opportunity where people can ask questions as well. This could be conducted through one-to-one sessions that you might have. I have complimentary one-to-one sessions, especially through the piloting and the beta and the very first versions of my course. It's an opportunity for me to see how students are working towards the overall goal. Now, in those interviews or in those one-to-one sessions, I don't ask them questions that are feedback-related questions. I just observe. And this gives me a lot of feedback. I could do group sessions as well. So your one-to-one sessions don't necessarily need to be individual. You can do group sessions as well. These could be forums. Now, these interviews could be a area where you're asking questions or other people are asking questions, either in a written forum or in a group chat. So that might be a group discussion board. It might be a community board. That might be a Facebook group, a private Facebook group, a Voxer group, whatever it might be. It might be synchronous or asynchronous, meaning that it's a time for everyone to come together, maybe in a meeting and talk about it in an interview, or when people would write their questions and respond to questions in their own time. And finally, focus groups. So focus groups would be very useful either at the beginning or the end, depending on the questions you're asking, where you get all of your students together focusing on a particular point. So what did you like most about the course? What did you achieve in the course? What would you have liked to achieve that you didn't achieve? Why do you think that is? Right? So focusing on those particular questions and everyone working together. This is vital feedback. And the final point is indirect feedback. With indirect feedback, there are multiple points in the point 1 to 3 that we spoke about that are opportunities for you to collect indirect feedback. These are things such as looking at data sets that you have. So consider indirect feedback like, if I have a question, a quiz, for example, and in that quiz, 29 out of 30 students got the question wrong. This is indirect feedback for me to say something needs to change in the content, because how could 29 out of 30 students get the question wrong? Obviously, it means the content is not useful to help the students be able to understand the topic. However, if 1 out of 30 students got the question wrong, then maybe that one person needs a little bit more support or needs some one-to-one consulting, rather than spending all this time improving your course when that might not be the answer. So that can also follow with the 80-20 rule, for example. If 80% of your students would like to see improvements in 20% of your course, then it's important to go and improve that course. And so that type of indirect feedback can be collected through completion rates, remembering to be careful with that. It can be through lesson completions, right? So how many lessons are they going through? Are they actually completing every single lesson? It can be video watch rates, and it could be responses to activities as well, just like we looked at those quizzes or group discussion boards. Are they actually being used? Why and why not? Are they useful? Why or why not? And finally, which is really important, questions being asked. So in those interviews, in those feedback forms, in those opportunities that you provide for students to write in group forums or write in group chats, what are the questions that people are asking? And if you ever feel like, I thought that we've responded to this already, I thought this was already in the content, why is this question being asked? That is a great sign that you need to improve your course, because it's clearly not being transferred to the students. It's not helpful for the students. So it's an opportunity to put those questions into your content and answer them before they come in your next course. Okay, so that is my tips on how you can improve your online courses. If you do have any questions, let me know in the comments below and I'll be happy to help. Remember, subscribe to the channel. That will be very useful for me, and it'll also be very useful for you to learn how you can launch your online course. And I look forward to seeing you later on in YouTube. If you do want to join any workshops that I have, if you would like to join any of the live sessions that I have on Facebook group, I'll link them in the links below so that we could actually see each other face to face. Okay, bye for now.